Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Of a light shade of red. A person with mildly leftist political views. Any of various flowers of plants of the genus Dianthus cultivated for their fragrant flowers. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. The car pinked when the ignition was too far retarded. A light shade of red. Cut in a zigzag pattern with pinking shears in sewing. Of a light shade of red. A person with mildly leftist political views. Any of various flowers of plants of the genus Dianthus cultivated for their fragrant flowers. A vigorous blow. The sudden knock floored him. The act of hitting vigorously. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Don't knock the food, it's free. Deliver a sharp blow or push. He knocked the glass clear across the room. Knock against with force or violence. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. The sound of knocking, as on a door or in an engine or bearing. The knocking grew louder. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. Negative criticism. A bad experience. The school of hard knocks. Rap with the knuckles. Knock on the door. The act of hitting vigorously. A gentle blow. The sound made by a gentle blow. A reproach for some lapse or misdeed. It was a bum rap. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. Genre of African American music of the 1980s and 1990s in which rhyming lyrics are chanted to a musical accompaniment. Several forms of rap have emerged. Strike sharply. Rap him on the knuckles. Perform rap music. Talk volubly. Voluble conversation. Draw from. Make good use of. Tap a telephone or telegraph wire to get information. The FBI was tapping the phone line of the suspected spy. Dance and make rhythmic clicking sounds by means of metal plates nailed to the sole of the dance shoes. Glover tap dances better than anybody. Make a solicitation or entreaty for something. Request urgently or persistently. A gentle blow. The sound made by a gentle blow. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. He was tapping his fingers on the table impatiently. A plug for a bunghole in a cask. A faucet for drawing water from a pipe or cask. The act of tapping a telephone or telegraph line to get information. A light touch or stroke. Strike lightly. He tapped me on the shoulder. A small metal plate that attaches to the toe or heel of a shoe, as in tap dancing. A tool for cutting female, internal, screw threads. Cut a female screw thread with a tap. Draw from or dip into to get something. Tap one's memory. Draw, liquor, from a tap. Tap beer in a bar. Furnish with a tap or spout, so as to be able to draw liquid from it. Tap a cask of wine. Pierce in order to draw a liquid from. Tap a maple tree for its syrup. Walk with a tapping sound. A river in western Thailand, a major tributary of the Chao Phraya. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. The car pinged when I put in low-octane gasoline. A sharp high-pitched resonant sound, as of a sonar echo or a bullet striking metal. Contact, usually in order to remind of something. He'll ping my accountant, April 15th is nearing. Hit with a pinging noise. The bugs pinged the lampshade. Make a short high-pitched sound. The bullet pinged when they struck the car. Send a message from one computer to another to check whether it is reachable and active. Ping your machine in the office. Based on a scale consisting of 12 semitones. A chromatic scale. Being or having or characterized by hue. Able to refract light without spectral color separation. Chromatic lens. A person who belongs to the political left. A person who belongs to the political left. Subscribing to the socialistic doctrine of ownership by the people collectively. A person who belongs to the political left. Believing in or supporting tenets of the political left. Produce or yield flowers. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A plant cultivated for its blooms or blossoms. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes. Move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope, run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape, fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. Pass, fair, or elapse, of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Phonetics, an individual sound unit of speech without concern as to whether or not it is a phoneme of some language. Logically valid. A sound argument. Measure the depth of a body of water with a sounding line. The subjective sensation of hearing something. He strained to hear the faint sounds. Make a certain noise or sound. Having legal efficacy or force. A sound title to the property. In excellent physical condition. A sound mind in a sound body. The audible part of a transmitted signal. Of sleep, deep and complete. A sound sleeper. A narrow channel of the sea joining two larger bodies of water. Exercising or showing good judgment. A sound approach to the problem. Utter with vibrating vocal cords. A large ocean inlet or deep bay. The main body of the sound ran parallel to the coast. Announce by means of a sound. Sound the alarm. Appear in a certain way. This sounds interesting. Cause to sound. Sound the bell. Complete. Thorough. Politicians have no sound grasp of technology issues. Financially secure and safe. Sound investments. Free from moral defect. A man of sound character. Give off a certain sound or sounds. This record sounds scratchy. In good condition, free from defect or damage or decay. A sound timbre. Mechanical vibrations transmitted by an elastic medium. Falling trees make a sound in the forest even when no one is there to hear them. The particular auditory effect produced by a given cause. The sound of rain on the roof. The sudden occurrence of an audible event. The sound awakened them. Vigorous or severe. A sound thrashing. A color that has hue. 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 The omission that is made when an editorial change shortens a written passage. Weed out unwanted or unnecessary things. We had to lose weight, so we cut the sugar from our diet. Cut down on. Make a reduction in. The employer wants to cut back health benefits. The act of penetrating or opening open with a sharp edge. His cut in the lining revealed the hidden jewels. Made neat and tidy by trimming. In baseball, a batter's attempt to hit a pitched ball. He took a vicious cut at the ball. Used of rates or prices, reduced usually sharply. Lessen the strength or flavor of a solution or mixture. Cut bourbon. Cut and assemble the components of. Cut recording tape. Used of grass or vegetation, cut down with a hand implement or machine. Reduce in scope while retaining essential elements. The act of cutting something into parts. His cuts were skillful. Refuse to acknowledge. She cut him dead at the meeting. Turn sharply. Change direction abruptly. The car cut to the left at the intersection. Be able to manage or manage successfully. She could not cut the long days in the office. Mixed with water. Sold cut whiskey. A refusal to recognize someone you know. The act of shortening something by chopping off the ends. The barber gave him a good cut. Sports. A stroke that puts reverse spin on the ball. Cuts do not bother a good tennis player. Style and tailor in a certain fashion. Cut a dress. With parts removed. The drastically cut film. A wound made by cutting. He put a bandage over the cut. Create by duplicating data. Cut a disk. Cease, stop. Cut the noise. Cut off the testicles, of male animals such as horses. A piece of meat that has been cut from an animal carcass. Make out an issue. Cut a ticket. A trench resembling a furrow that was made by erosion or excavation. A remark capable of wounding mentally. The unkindest cut of all. Intentionally fail to attend. Cut class. A distinct selection of music from a recording or a compact disc. He played the first cut on the CD. The division of a deck of cards before dealing. He insisted that we give him the last cut before every deal. Of a male animal, having the testicles removed. A cut horse. Cuss to stop operating by disengaging a switch. Cut the engine. A canal made by erosion or excavation. Allow incision or separation. This bread cuts easily. An unexcused absence from class. He was punished for taking too many cuts in his math class. A share of the profits. Everyone got a cut of the earnings. A step on some scale. He is a cut above the rest. Discharge from a group. The coach cut 2 players from the team. Dissolve by breaking down the fat of. Soap cuts grease. Divide a deck of cards at random into 2 parts to make selection difficult. Wayne cut. Fashioned or shaped by cutting. A well-cut suit. Fell by sawing, hew. The Vietnamese cut a lot of timber while they occupied Cambodia. Film. An immediate transition from one shot to the next. The cut from the accident scene to the hospital seemed too abrupt. Form by probing, penetrating, or digging. Cut a hole. Form or shape by cutting or incising. Cut paper dolls. Function as a cutting instrument. This knife cuts well. Give the appearance or impression of. Cut a nice figure. Grow through the gums. The new tooth is cutting. Have a reducing effect. This cuts into my earnings. Have grow through the gums. The baby cut a tooth. Hit a ball with a spin so that it turns in the opposite direction. Cut a ping pong ball. Make an abrupt change of image or sound. Cut from one scene to another. Make an incision or separation. Cut along the dotted line. Make a recording of. Cut the songs. Move one's fist. His opponent cut upward toward his chin. Pass directly and often in haste. We cut through the neighbor's yard to get home sooner. Pass through or across. The boat cut the water. Penetrate injuriously. The glass from the shattered windshield cut into her forehead. Perform or carry out. Cut a caper. Reap or harvest. Cut grain. Record a performance on a medium. Cut a record. Separated into parts or laid open or penetrated with a sharp edge or instrument. The cut surface was modeled. Separate with or as if with an instrument. Shorten as if by severing the edges or ends of. Cut my hair. Stop filming. Cut a movie scene. The act of reducing the amount or number. The mayor proposed extensive cuts in the city budget. The style in which a garment is cut. A dress of traditional cut. Of pages of a book, having the folds of the leaves trimmed or slit. The cut pages of the book. An orchid. European pink cultivated for its very fragrant pink or rosy flowers. Low-growing loosely matte forming Eurasian pink with a single pale pink flower with a crimson center. Chinese pink with deeply toothed rose lilac flowers with a purplish eye, usually raised as an annual. Much-branched pink with flowers in clusters, closely related to Sweet William. Much-branched pink with flowers in clusters, closely related to Sweet William. Eurasian plant with pink to purple red spice scented usually double flowers, widely cultivated in many varieties and many colors. A pink or reddish pink color. Pink or pinkish. Matte forming perennial of Central Europe with large fragrant pink or red flowers. Chinese pink with deeply toothed rose lilac flowers with a purplish eye, usually raised as an annual. Eurasian plant with pink to purple red spice scented usually double flowers, widely cultivated in many varieties and many colors. European pink cultivated for its very fragrant pink or rosy flowers. Matte forming perennial of Central Europe with large fragrant pink or red flowers.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.